99X. It's the Morning X, Barnes and Leslie. Fram, our next guest, I saw her recently on with Drew Barrymore. Mm-hmm. And leading into bringing her on, I thought it'd be cool to play this clip because of all the, the female empowerment stuff that you do. I thought you'd like to hear it.
I would love to hear this. Thank you.
I thought it was really cool seeing Drew Barrymore just get all excited with Lisa Whelchel.
Oh my God! It's Blair, Natalie, and Joe! I cannot handle it! I saw myself with you guys because you were raising yourselves, you were raising each other, and it made more sense to the life I was living than any other environment because it was the day and age of television. What I was learning was to be a strong, independent female who could take care of themselves and value female friendship and know that there was someone there who was watching out for them, Mrs. Garrett. That was my life. I wanted so badly to be with you guys, and you gave me a blueprint that made my life feel better to me in every sense of the word.
So that was cool, I thought. I mean, she was all excited.
I mean, well, Lisa, I know you're on with us. How does that make you feel? Because you've done so much in your career, especially to inspire others.
Well, it was an amazing feeling. I really respect what Drew is doing, bringing some real heart and positivity to the world these days. And I brought my adult daughters with me on that trip, and they're such big fans. And so it was really, it was great professionally, but it was even more fabulous experience personally.
Well, it's a big thrill. I'm a boy. I'm sorry. I'm not in the female. I'm going to step out of the female empowerment zone for just a moment. But a big pop culture moment for me because just going to say when I was a little, Barnes, that you were serious top 5, major crush on Lisa Whelchel. Major.
I love that. Well, thank you.
And who didn't watch Facts of Life? I don't know what Mrs. Garrett was putting in your oatmeal, but man, you are preserved. You look exactly the same.
You really do.
Thank you very much. Oh. I appreciate that. And good thing this is radio because, it takes a little bit of time to get it together.
Well, I want to ask you about, and I'm not going to, beyond this question about Facts of Life, I want to ask you something kind of peripheral to it. We were pitched recently to have another Facts of Lifer on. Not going to say who it is because it doesn't matter. It's more about the question. In the pitch, we were told you only get one question for Facts of Life. Do not ask any more. Would you ever do that?
I wouldn't. I can understand why others might, but for me, that was a wonderful time of life, and it's provided a wonderful life for me, and it still provides a wonderful life for me. And so it's interesting. The whole premise of MeTV, which is memorable entertainment television, is to help us reconnect with shows that brought us joy in our childhood.
Yeah.
Facts of Life was a show that brought me joy in my childhood, so I love talking about it.
It's almost like the big band that won't sing their hit song. I thought it just hit me really wrong. I was like, why would you even say that? You're putting yourself at a disadvantage right out the gate. But no more Facts of Life, but I loved it and everyone loved it, and that's why people want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, I love that. Well, that makes me happy.
You've done so much in your career. I mean, outside of just being an actress, you're a singer, a songwriter, a life coach, an author. You really have done a lot. And we definitely want to talk about season 5 of you hosting this really cool show, Collector's Call, which, by the way, I love to collect things. I don't know if I want to give up any of the stuff I collect. But on this show, I mean, kind of explain the premise for people that have not seen it.
Yeah, so I travel the country and we find people who have amazing collections. And then we also bring an expert to come in there to tell us a little bit about the items and then also appraise them. And then they offer to make a trade for an item that they've brought. But what I love most about it is the stories behind all these collectibles because they really are so heartwarming and they bring back memories from my own childhood, or they teach me something. We've done a lot of the horror and sci-fi and rock and roll, and I don't know much about that, but I've learned a lot from hosting the show.
It's such a cool idea. It's almost like the old antique shows where they go around doing the stories. And I've believed forever, that's what I would put on an antique as a story, because that's going to sell it 5x more than no story.
Yeah, and it really does. The stories, they're always something that, because they're not seeking something to collect, it doesn't mean something to them deeply. And so the stories are always very heartwarming.
Now, I have to ask, has there ever been an item that you've seen that you're like, I kind of want in on that?
Yeah, definitely. We did a show last year, a gentleman who collected from television shows in the 70s and the 80s, and he had a Facts of Life Eastland pennant, and I really, really wanted it. But I, it was out of my price range for one thing, and also he wasn't willing to give it up. My husband actually surprised me for my 60th birthday, though, and got him to make a reproduction for me, which was so sweet and so wonderful. But then, as it turned out, a few months later, I was having dinner with Nancy McKeon, who played Jo on The Facts of Life, and she said, "Oh, I have one of those. I brought a lot of stuff home," and so she gave it to me.
Well, Lisa Whelchel, you can't tell me when you walked away from that set that you didn't take any little Facts of Life nuggets with you.
That's right.
I know you're stepping on a wound here, because I'm beating myself up for that fact that I didn't. But no, I didn't.
Wow, that surprises me. You've been on, so you're doing a show about pop culture, but you've been on not only one iconic show, but I loved watching you on Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
And first of all, has anything come up in your show from Survivor?
We actually are doing a whole Survivor episode this season.
Really?
Ethan Zahn is the expert.
Yeah.
And he had, and then the collector had all of the items from the first tribal council, the urn, the voting parchments. He had Sandra's outfits. I mean, some pretty iconic Survivor items on that episode.
Did you keep anything from when you were on Survivor?
I did. Yes, I did. I kept my water bottle and a cup and a buff and the bags. It's my envelope with my money from the Survivor auction. So yes, I did bring things home from there.
Is that really as hard as they say it is? Survivor?
It is harder. It is harder. It really is. It's hard to. Yeah, it's really hard to explain how difficult it is. Yeah, it's just it's psychologically just totally messes with you. You're paranoia all the time. You're covered in bug bites. You're freezing. It's quite miserable.
Wow.
I could never do it.
We're speaking with Lisa Whelchel. Lisa, I didn't realize you'd written 10 books.
Damn.
But you've written 10 books on motherhood, adult friendships, child disciplines, also one called The Facts of Life and Other Lessons My Father Taught Me. When did you find time to write 10 books?
Well, it's been a while. I took a break from writing books, but I wrote a bunch of them when about the time my kids started, I think, junior high. Yeah.
Man, there's nothing she can't do, Fram. She was also nominated for a Grammy Award. I mean, talk about getting it done. All right. We look forward to seeing this on MeTV. It's on Sundays, 6:30 here in Atlanta. 26 episodes, right?
Wow.
Including the 100th episode airing in August. You guys are going to cover Pearl Jam this year, Star Wars, Weird Al, Bozo, Survivor, so much more. Lisa Whelchel, was a pleasure.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you so much.
Let's check out a scene from Collector's Call. You can watch it this Sunday on MeTV. Lisa Whelchel on the Morning X.
What a fun room. How would you define your collection?
It represents us. It's just a little bit of everything. I mean, I'm really into horror. Gina's really into
more sci-fi and robots.
And have you both always enjoyed that? Did you bring it into the relationship?
I think more he brought it into the relationship. I had little figures here and there, but nothing like when I went to his place and saw a whole shelf full of Godzillas.
For some women, that could be kind of maybe a flag of sorts.
Really? Why do you say that?
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie.